Hello, 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 hello. Happy Sunday to each and every one of you. Good to be with you again this wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Today, we're going to have an amazing, amazing guest. You don't want to miss today. One day at a time. Hello, welcome to this beautiful, beautiful day. My name is Gerard Chiato. I'm your host today on The Entrepreneur. And today we're going to have a wonderful blast with Eyong Enoh, the legend himself. So I want you guys, to pull up your seats, grab a cup of tea, and sit down and relax and enjoy the show. Well, it's not actually a show. This is for education. This is for learning. This is for taking inspiration from those that have gone ahead of us so that we will not be able to make the same mistakes that they've made, but that we will be able to grow with less mistakes. I made a video some time ago and I said one of the shortest ways to succeed in life is to get a mentor. When you get a mentor, you save yourself an average of 20 years of going around in circles, making mistakes, getting up and going up again. With a mentor, a good mentor, a dedicated mentor, a committed mentor at your side, you're going to save valuable time and you will find success far earlier than most people who choose not to associate themselves with a mentor. So, the whole purpose of what we do here on The Entrepreneur is to bring you mentors, people that are breaking limits in certain industries, in certain sectors, so you can learn from them. You can see what they've done. You can learn from their mistakes. You can hear their principles and you can apply them and help yourself, to avoid some of the pitfalls that most people encounter as they begin on this journey of entrepreneurship. So, my guest today, who's going to be joining us very soon, is no other person than the real Eyong Enoh himself. And I'm very excited for what he's going to have to share with each and every one of us here this afternoon. So sit back and just relax, okay? Enjoy this song. I like this song. Why? Because it teaches me to take just one day at a time. One day at a time. That's all it takes to succeed. You take it one day at a time. No matter how massive the task is. One day at a time, guys. Do let me know where you're watching us from today. And please do share the video. But it will be incredible to know where you're watching from today. I know we've got many people watching from all over. Currently, we are streaming live on Facebook, my personal Facebook page, on The Entrepreneur. We'll also be streaming on the Real Eyong Enoh's page. We'll be streaming live on YouTube. We'll be streaming live on Twitter. So I won't be able to see all the parties and everyone that is watching. But wherever you're watching us from today, it's a pleasure to have you as always. And today we want you to learn something. The reason why we do what we do is simple, very simple. Like I said before, we do it because we want you to have good mentors by your side. We want you to see and to learn from them So there are failures, there are challenges. You can be able to learn from them and you can be able to grow. This is the whole purpose of what we do here, to help you, to help you. And we're doing it not necessarily for applause, no. So even if there's just going to be one person or two people, and we've got to guess the same enthusiasm, the same passion is what we bring to the table. This is what it takes. This is what it takes. Because it may be, these invitations, these guests that come, they're coming just for that one person for that day. So if it's just for one person, we will still do this. This is the kind of dedication and the kind of commitment that it takes to succeed in any industry. Okay, so let me know where you're watching us from today, and do share, do like, share the stream so that others can join us as well. Share the stream so others can join us as well. It will be incredible for you to be able to share and to let us know where you're watching us from today. It's an honor to have you guys. Always a pleasure to, have you guys tune in. Let me know also where you're watching us from so I can, give a shout out to you. I see Wine Kidio. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Do share the stream. Do share the stream. Let us know where you're watching from. Share the stream. Like, comment, share. If you can, do send us some stars. It's good. It's good to receive some stars from you guys. But definitely do like, do share, and do let us know where you're watching us from. It's very important. It's very important. We want to commend you for, choosing to spend your afternoon with us, and also investing your time. I can assure you it's not going to be a wasted effort. So I'm just trying to, send something to somebody. That's why you see me looking at my phone. No disrespect. I definitely value your time. And I want to say thank you for joining us this afternoon. Do like, do share, do let me know where you're watching us from. It is very important for us to know where you're watching us from so we can do a shout out to you as well. Why not? Why not give you an opportunity to say hello? You have somebody you want to say hello to? Do let me know. Do let me know. Our purpose for these events, like I said before, is pretty simple. We want people to learn from entrepreneurs, from people that have made it. We want them not to make the same mistakes they make. And we bring these people to encourage you, to motivate you, to tell you what, how it's been for them. Because we all have our struggles. It doesn't matter who you are. We all have our struggles. We all have our struggles. We have our struggles. And sometimes the people that we revere the most, that is the people that we respect the most, sometimes we think that they don't have struggles, or we think that they don't have challenges, but they actually do have challenges. And one of the things I like asking the guys who come on this show is to share with us some of their personal challenges, because sometimes we think they don't have any challenges, or life is just easy, busy for them, but they actually do have challenges, and by the time you hear some of their challenges and obstacles and how they overcame them, you go home thinking, wow, if these people could have, encountered things like this and they overcame, then I can definitely as well overcome. You see, that's the whole reason why we invite these incredible gentlemen, incredible ladies to come on this show and to tell you or share with you what they have been doing. So do let us know, do let us know where you're watching us from. It's always good to know where you're watching us from, because at the end of the day, like I said, we do this just for people like you. Hello Theodora, good to have you. You're watching us from Yaoundé. Good to have you on board. Definitely great to see you watching us from wherever you're watching us from today. Please do like, do share the stream, share it on your groups, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, wherever you can. That is also a way by which you encourage us, or you encourage me. So remember, like these guests, they are investing their time and their effort coming here. I'm not paying them. I don't pay them. They're coming here because they want to add value to you. You see. So I think you should, as you know, absorb as much knowledge as you can from each and every one of them. And the best way you can do that is also by sharing the stream so that many others can also benefit. Because I can tell you this, sometimes, one of those things, like when you're producing a lot of content, sometimes it's like, oh man, Gerald, it's too much. Like, you're so much in our face. But then you get one of that instance where somebody tells you, it's like, the other day I listened to your video and it hit me so hard. I'm still thinking about it. I haven't been able to get it out of my mind. You said something that helped change my perspective. And because of that change in perspective, I now see things differently. You see, not every content is for every single person. This video today, there's going to be somebody who will leave here today feeling very inspired, feeling very motivated, refreshed, and determined. But there's going to be others that will just swipe past and it's not going to be for them. It's not going to be for them, you see. But if this is for you, I want you to pay particular attention, because I heard a quote from Wayne Dyer in his book, Change Your Mind, change your thoughts, change your life, and he said something that struck me. He said, everyone speaking is God speaking. So why don't you sit quiet and listen just for once? It was so profound to me, because sometimes, like, we just want to be the one speaking. We just want to be the one that people are listening to. But he said, everyone is God speaking. So why don't you just be polite and listen? Think about that. I'll share this example with you before I bring on board my guest. Now, in the year 2016, I was, in the city of London. I was recruiting for one of my companies, London City Recruitment. I was in suit and, looking very successful with a wonderful suitcase, nice shoes, and I had this pocket handkerchief, nice tie. I was a city boy. So here I was in the city of London, around Liverpool Street. There is a hotel, and that's hotel just literally by Liverpool Street Station. And I was going to interview somebody there, for my company. And while I stood by the station, this homeless guy, he came by and, he saw me. Obviously, he thought I had money. I had nothing, So he came to me and he asked me for some money. He's like, man, do you have some change so I can get, like maybe a cup of tea? I was like, man, I don't have any change, man. Like, so sorry. So as we stood there, I was looking at him, interacting with him. Another lady came, and this lady was a homeless lady as well. And the lady came straight to me and she asked me money. I told her, I was like, well, I don't have any change on me. This homeless guy that was standing beside me sent his hand into his pocket and he took out all the change that he had and he gave it to this woman. And the woman counted it. It was 10p, 20p, 2p, 1p. All the pennies he had, he just took it and gave it to the lady. I don't know whether it was even up to £2. The lady thanked him and then left. And then as the lady left, the guy wanted to leave. I was like, wait. So he stopped and I was like, why did you do that? You were just asking me for money. He said something that changed my perspective. And I'm just saying this in reference to the quote I gave you. That guy said to me, being on the street, sleeping rough is not easy. It's very hard. And sometimes people don't even take notice of us. But as hard as it is for a woman, as hard as it is for a man, being homeless or sleeping rough, for a woman, it is 100 times worse. See, like, I had goosebumps like all over my body when this guy he spoke about and he made that sentence and he said that thing to me. You see, oftentimes, like, we are so busy and into our own things in life, we don't pay attention to listen to what somebody is saying. You see, so everyone is God speaking. Why don't you be polite and listen? Today, I have an incredible guest with me. I'm saying this to prepare you so that you can listen and you can take from what he's got to say. He's a guy I respect so much. And despite all that he has been through and gone through in the football industry, he is still a man of integrity. He is still a man, whose character is solid. He is still a man that you can trust. You see, many get corrupted along the way by success and by power and by all their accomplishments, and they start lifting their nose, thinking they're better than every single person, that they know it all. But no, not my guest today. My guest today is totally different. And I'm sure by the end of our conversation this today, you will come to see what I also see in him. I call him a legend, I call him a champ, I call him many names. He's a brother, he's a friend, and I learned quite a lot from him as well. So, ladies and gents, I want you to help me welcome Mr. Eyong Enoh. Hello, sir.
Hello, Mr. Gerard.
How you
Nice
doing,
to.
bro?
I'm good, and very excited to be today on the Entrepreneur, the
Oh,
famous entrepreneur.
thank you. Thank you very much. I know you've got quite a lot going on and you're very busy. I just want to appreciate you for taking our time to be on the entrepreneur today. Many young people, they definitely have seen you, have heard about you, you know, and obviously when you are a man like yourself, many people will aspire to be like you. And what we do on the entrepreneur is bringing people such as you to share their lives journey and story with those that are aspiring to go up the ladder. Because one of the things that I keep saying to everybody is integrity should always come before profit. And you are one of the people, one of the few that that I know that even if you become whatever on earth, you will not compromise on your integrity. And this is something that most people in our generation today, they don't hold dear. They just want to make it by all means. So I'm very, very pleased, to have you today. But I want to give you the floor. I want to give you the floor just to give a bit of a background story about who you are, where you've come from, and so that the people would at least get to say, oh, okay, so let them build their own little connections with you and to your story. So the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gerard. Who am I? Where I come from? I usually put it this way. First of all, I'm a child of God. So when someone asks me who am I, where do I come from, I'm a child of God. In terms of where I come from, I'm a Cameroonian, and I was born in Kumba. I grew up in Limbe and also in Tico,
Yeah.
where I started developing interest in football. I come from a family of actually six. The moment I lost my elder sister, so we are five of us now. And I grew up in a certainly stable home. At least was able to go to school. My parents could afford sending me to school at primary school, secondary school, and university level. So that gave me a good kickoff start in terms of education and all of that. Uh, like I said, I grew up in Nimbe and Tico, but I
Yeah.
also had a passage in my four. And just like every other young Cameroonian was watching football on the screen, I started dreaming of one day playing football, even though that's not where I really started. I started with
Mm.
other things, and then football came later. So as
Right.
a as a young child young kid at school, I was kind of multi-talented. I was into many other things. I was doing drawing. I was doing drama, debate club.
Right.
I was also involved. I like gymnastics, like athletics and different kind of stuff. I like dancing also. For the
Oh,
people who
nice.
knew me when I was quite young, I was dancing a lot. I used to participate in dancing competitions and events at the time in Southwest at a very top level. So that's a little bit background story about me. Just a young Cameroonian guy who grew up in the streets of Limbe, Tico, and then going to primary school in Catholic school, Bota in Limbe.
Yeah.
Then later on, I was in my four, which they call Bonadi Combo.
Yeah.
I attended primary school there for a couple of years before we moved to Tico, where I was at Impasse Imperial Academy of Arts and Science, and later on went to Bamenda at PCHS Mangkok. So those who are from the Northwest, they know me in P. All the P guys, they should know about that. So that's a little bit background story about myself.
That's incredible. Thank you very much for sharing that. One thing just to follow up on that is, you've had a very successful football career. Like, I mean, you play with Ajax, you play with Fulham, you've played with the national team, and you were actually a vice captain of the Cameroonian national team. You know, but one thing that most people don't understand is they just think like sometimes you just jump from somewhere and you landed in home, So can you just, because I want people to relate with the story. I want people to see the journey. Like, you don't just wake up one day and then you find yourself at the top.
Yeah.
There is a journey, there is a process. How did it start, like, football wise? I know, like, you've played in some unknown clubs like I don't even know about.
Yeah,
So I just want you to share, like, those moments and how everything click for you, and then before you eventually make your break.
So for me to say that, I need to really go back and start from childhood, because like I
Mhm.
said, when I was quite young, I wasn't into football. I was more, those who knew me, a couple of my my childhood friends, when I lived in my four, I was doing dancing and I was doing
Mhm.
gymnastics, like acrobatics. That's what
Yeah.
most people knew me for. But it so happened we moved city. The whole family moved to Tico. And at the time I got to Tico, like, nobody was doing gymnastics and nobody was into dancing at the time. And all the kids were on the field playing football. Everywhere was football. So I just jumped and I joined them. And, like, I didn't want to stand on the sideline. And
Yeah.
when I joined them, and it was fun, it was nice. So from there, I'm that kind of person, when I put my mind on something, I just go for it. So before I realized that was it, I got engaged with football and started developing, played top cup, was playing in the Impasse school team. And not too long, we had the 1990 World Cup later on, and the 2000 Nations Cup, and the 2000 Olympics game, and 1999 World Cup in France, seeing young players
Mhm.
at the time, like 8 or 17 years, playing in the World Cup. So all of that was stirring a lot of dream, especially the Olympic game, which Cameroon won against Spain in the finals. It was a very, I think, good moment for a lot of us who were at that
Yeah.
age, that time. It stimulated a lot of dreams in us. So I played in Littlefoot. I started playing in Littlefoot in Tico, and then I was scouted. I signed for Mount Cameroon FC in Boya. I also played my tried with University of Boya team at the time. I played a couple of university games,
Mhm.
which helped me in my development. But the big move for me, which most people don't know, is that I played in Burkina Faso.
All right.
So I had this agent who came around Cameroon and was looking for,
Yeah.
talented player, and he opened up an opportunity for me to go to Burkina Faso to get a visa to go to France. At the time, he was working with Lens Football Club. So, but because we had to wait for transfer window, I had to play with a club there. So I played for
Mhm.
Rai Club Kadiago. They
In
call the
Burkina
team,
Faso.
right? Yes, in Burkina Faso.
Wow.
So they call the team Erseka, and it was a good experience for me, but one of the toughest experience for me also,
Mm.
because I was out in another country, alone, all by myself. If something
Mm.
happened to me there, nobody in my family would know, nobody home. And some of the difficulties I experienced, it was just all me. I couldn't tell my family, because maybe they would say, you need to get your bags and come back.
Mm.
There were days probably I didn't have food to eat. There were periods when I was really, really sick. But if I turn left, there's nobody to go and buy drugs for me. So there were days I stayed hungry. Like, this is part of it. But I really knew what I wanted. So I knew that, okay, this is part of the journey. And how how places were quite hot there. I'd not been exposed to such level of heat in Burkina Faso. I was actually living in Ouagadougou, which is the capital. And I
Yeah.
had to walk sometimes just to go and make a call where there was a phone booth to call back home, or even
Yeah.
send an email. back at the time, I would walk like probably for about and a half and a half, 1.5 or 2 hours just to go do an email and walk back and then train. So this particular experience in Burkina Faso really helped me grow. It helped me to become a man. After that, the deal to France didn't go through. At the end of the season, I saw the way the agent was acting, and he instead took some other players. So I decided to return back to Cameroon and pick
Mm.
up. I played back with Mount Cameroon, and then after that season with Mount Cameroon, I went to Cyprus. That's the Turkish side of Cyprus. And of course, most people know about Cyprus, but things
Yeah.
were not as rosy in Cyprus as people think.
No, it's not.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
It's not.
So um, sometimes you want to understand how far a man has come, you need to understand his journey.
That's
When I went
true.
to Cyprus, the invitation I had was for a first division team there. And I got there, I trained with them for 1.5 week, but they rejected me. They said I wasn't good enough.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
So you can imagine, I was already playing with the junior national team in Cameroon. I was playing with the first division team. Then in Southwest and in Tico, I was regarded as one of the top young talents coming up. But this was after Burkina Faso. This was my first outing out of Africa, and it's like these people didn't say you have the quality. So the agent I was at the time, Divine, he took me to a second division team in Cyprus. Don't forget, this Cyprus league is an amateur league. It's not a professional
Yeah.
league.
Yeah.
So nobody considers it. They are not part of Europe, this thing. They took me to a second division team in Cyprus, and they still did not accept me.
Wow.
So he was like, he doesn't understand what is going on. I had a few other good players at the time in Tico who were also very known, like Zamalek, like Paul. Uh, you had a few other players playing for Tico United. I was
Mhm.
playing for Mount Cameroon, but these were good players. They all knew us. So they had already got in clubs, but me, I was still looking for a club.
Wow.
So, and finally took me to a third division team. And I trained it just one day, and the guys just came back to him and said, "You know what? We are sorry. We don't think we want this player. We don't need this player."
Wow.
So the agent was already giving up. To him was like, he doesn't understand what's happening. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be one of the top players that he's bringing here. His hope was more on me making it, getting a club. And now he's getting all this feedback. So he was like, maybe we need to start going back. And then I said to him, you know what? I know why I'm here. All the clubs that didn't take me is not because I'm not good. It's just because that's not the club I'm supposed to play.
Mm.
Yes, that's what I said to them. I said to him,
Mm.
because he was really, really low. He was like,
Mm.
he doesn't know how this thing's gonna go. He's not sure. Maybe I have to go back. So while we were contemplating on what is the next step, he got a call about the club that was second in the league at that time,
Mhm.
and they were looking for a midfielder. And he said, well, I have this guy here. Remember, I've gone to try first division, second division, third division. They didn't. So it was just like, let's just see what will happen.
Yeah.
And so I went there, trained with the team. The first day I trained with the team in the evening, the coach just liked me. That was it. That's how I stayed in the team.
Wow.
Long story short, I went on to be the best player in the league that season. The team won their championship for the first time in
Wow.
a long time, for over
Wow.
35 years. And yeah, from there, another agent who was in South Africa heard about me. And that's how he paid my flight ticket and said, listen, I have a team in South Africa, Cape Town. I have a coach there with Turkish. I would like him to have a look at you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I went to Ajax Cape Town. Played there for 2 seasons. I was best player in the league, best player in the club, and I had the opportunity to do trials at Ajax Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And that's the story of Ajax Amsterdam. So most people knew that I was playing for Ajax Cape Town. So when someone
Right.
said, Enoh, I signed for Ajax, to them, they were still thinking it is
It's
Cape Town.
Cape Town. Yeah.
See, so but some people were like, no, we've seen him play Europa League, we've seen him play Champions League. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So because it happened very fast, it happened
Right.
really swiftly for me to get to Amsterdam, and that is where my career completely took off. Champions League, I was called up national team. So, but that's kind of a summary of how my journey was before people started seeing me on the
Mm-hmm.
international scene.
That's an incredible story, Like I like the response because sometimes other people will not see what you see because you're the one who's wearing your own shoes. I like the feedback you gave, your agent. Like they may have rejected me, because they're not the team that I was meant to play for. And because I'm saying this, guys, I hope you're listening, because this is when you begin your journey in life, especially in entrepreneurship, and you've got this idea, this burning desire to bring a product to the market or to make a business work. Many times people will tell you no, 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 until you will get to a point like the champ here, where maybe the people around you will just start telling you, hey man, maybe you should just give up this thing, maybe it's not meant for you. But if you can say, they may have rejected me, they were not the ones who were meant to maybe open the door for me, or maybe they were not the point of light on this particular journey for me, and you keep working, somehow, somewhere along the line, there is a way out.
Yeah.
There is going to be a way out, and you're going to eventually make your break. I like that. That is quite inspiring. Now, just to follow up on that, I know you are a Christian and your family believe in God. How did your faith, help you throughout that period? Because
So
I know it must have been challenging, like, especially when you're somewhere alone all by yourself, and this I've experienced it. How did your faith help you?
well, my I think one very important word for me that resonates, that um, beyond faith helped me a lot, is the word purpose.
Purpose.
Yes, is the word purpose. Like knowing your why, knowing the reason
Yeah.
for which you are into what you're doing. So this was very important because I discovered that earlier, before I even had the opportunity to play a professional football at Ajax or to be called in the national team. So once that why for me was defined, I knew why I was playing football. I knew why I got into the game. And as a Christian, I knew my divine assignment, that I had to be there in the football world to show an example to many young players or many other professionals that it's possible
Mm,
to for you to have success at this level without compromising your faith.
mm,
So I knew that it wasn't something I wasn't playing football or doing there just representing myself. There was a whole generation of people
yeah.
that were going to
Yeah.
look at me and say it's possible.
Yeah.
So this was the drive. And this drive gave me what I call the discipline of purpose.
Mm,
So because of this drive, I knew there were things that I had to do. There was a way I had to live. There were sacrifices I had to make. And the discipline of purpose was what, to accomplish the discipline of purpose, I had to stand and hold firm to values,
that's right.
values that cannot be compromised. See, so my identity is certain. I'm a child of God, and as a child of God, if you're a citizen from of a country, there are certain things. There's a way you walk. There's a way you
That's right.
talk. There's a way you move. So because a citizens represent a whole government, a whole culture, a whole day. So as a child of God, I represent God's righteousness. I represent God's image, and there is a
Mm,
way I carry out myself. So
mm,
with this consciousness, was I carrying out myself in the national team? See,
mm,
I knew that I was on a mission. I knew why I was there. I knew what I had to do. I knew who I represented, and I knew the impact it was going to have on the next generation. So it was for me, it was like a privilege that God was giving me, a privilege to be able to inspire a whole generation of people. I was like,
yeah.
wow, and to culminate that all together, when I understood that, I can another word I can use. So I've talked about purpose, I've talked about the discipline of purpose, and I've talked about values. But another word that really helped me is grace. So when God unveils to
Mm,
you what your purpose is, shows you your assignment and your mission, He gives you the grace.
yeah.
Grace is God giving you an ability to do things that in your human ability probably you can't take,
Mm,
you can't handle.
mm,
So, as a normal footballer, in the culture of football, there's a way footballers live, there's a way
yeah.
footballers talk, there's a way footballers behave. So, if I didn't have God's grace or did not understand or took advantage of God's grace, probably I would behave the same like everyone.
That's
But
right.
I cannot boast that, oh, it was because I'm a child of God and I pray, that's why I'm doing this. No, I can't boast. But I can boast, like Paul the Apostle said, I can boast in God's grace. So I
Yeah.
knew that by God's grace, I can keep my integrity. By
Yeah.
God's grace, I can maintain my values. And I could not depend on my strength. I could not depend on my know-how. I could only trust in God's grace. When I was conscious of that, this is what has helped me to be the person to reflect. And it was not something that I was trying to do. It was something that I was allowing God's grace to walk through me.
walk through.
Yes, to walk through me. And if I felt weak, I would go back to God and say, I'm feeling weak on this. Just I would trust in God's grace again. Like, because this is real. This is not a movie. This is not a fiction. It's real life every day. So this is some of the things that have kept me. I would also talk about having a mentor, a pastor, someone you can talk to. When you don't understand something, you need advice, you need counsel, you need prayer. So you need to have a support system. I can also talk about my wife, who is also a Christian, who is also a lover of God. So having yourself with these people, talking with them, taking them along with you on your journey, helps to keep you also focused. So this is how I was able till now. I can only talk about God's grace and the people that have supported me along the journey.
That's so incredible, because I'm listening to you and I can just picture like those moments when you had to go to bed hungry, or those moments that you were sick and no one to help you buy even medication. I can imagine the grace of God literally with you there in person, guiding you through. Most people would have given up, and especially most people that have come from families that are okay, they were just like, okay, let me just go back. But that wasn't you, because you said something, purpose and the discipline of purpose. A combination of those two, like, I think you break every limit. That is, I'm getting a lot of value from this. Guys, I hope you too. I hope you guys are also getting, oh, that's good, Paul. Paul says, I'm getting value. That's right. That's right. Like, this is incredible, because that tallies, because we had rumors. Like, I wasn't in the national team, like, so I'm just like every other person. Like, we had rumors they were calling you pastor, and I was gonna ask you, like, how did you handle all of that pressure? You've already touched a little bit on that. Because like you said earlier, there is a kind of a culture, a kind of a lifestyle that is associated to footballers or musicians or celebrities, unquote. How were you able to handle all of that, and still maintain your posture, your character, and not let it get all over you? Because some people will go nuts. They'll start doing funny stuff.
I'm gonna say something that's very interesting. The moment I focus on trying to handle the things, then I'm already off. You see, so my assignment where I was national team was not about handling things. My assignment, they had a clear assignment. My assignment was to reflect God's glory. My assignment was to maximize my talent and serve my country, serve the next generation to the maximum. So I was on business. It's like you're on mission, right?
Yeah.
So I was focused on the mission, so much so that the other things that people were calling things were taken care of already. You see, if you ask someone who is driving on a high lane, if you really ask them to describe the things they see alongside the road, they can't.
Yeah.
Because they have to focus on the driving to get to where they are going to. If they distract, they are carrying people on the car, that something is going to happen. You're going to have an accident. So this is how I saw it, and this is one of the things that helped me. And I didn't go to the national team thinking or wishing that someone would call me a pastor. I didn't. It was not my objective. And I think if you focus on your assignment and you leave that which you're called to do, people will find words that they understand to best describe your character and your personality. This is to them. To them, oh, this guy, maybe he's not into this, he's not into this. The best way we can describe him is pastor. But I'm not a pastor. I'm not a pastor. I'm just Eyong. I'm a child of God. I'm just Eyong who is a Christian who plays football. That's all. So, but I don't stop anybody from describing what they think they see in me that they can relate with, you see. And in a way, they were not saying pastor as though this guy is perfect, in quotes, right? They were saying pastor as though someone who is living a life that we would love to also live, living a life or showing a character that it's exemplary and is accommodating. right? So he's showing this light, but he's not judging us. He's not making us feel like we are the bad guys. He's just living it's like just being the light. And they see something that it attracts them towards you. And if they need advice, they can come. If they need prayer, they can come. And of course, sometimes I'm going to tell them about the scriptures, the word of God, opportunity open, but that was not my goal. My goal was not to go there, try to change people. It was just to be a child of God, just to be the light, and just to be the difference, just to be the salt. And in so being who God has called me to be, then the Lord is taking charge of the rest. So that's how, and then probably also because I really felt led to, opportunity came for me to pray for the team before training. Before I knew it became a kind of culture in the national team. I was praying before we ate. I was praying before we started training. I was praying before a game, and I was praying in different occasions. So this is how God himself opened the opportunity. I didn't try to force it. I didn't. No. It just opened. So maybe because there was no resistance because God was doing it. Like when God does it, people can't resist. When you try to impose it, then you get the resistance. So I think that's how I can explain how the whole stuff about pastor came about. Probably as they saw me praying, they saw the way I lived, and then they just used the word pastor. It's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. I think it's an honorable thing for someone to be called pastor. It's a high calling. Even though I'm not a pastor, I'm just a lover of Jesus. I'm just a child of God. But it's good that they can describe you as a pastor.
Wow. This is incredible. Guys, if you're getting as much value as I am from this, please do share this stream. There is a lot of wisdom here. There is a lot of sound counsel here. There is a lot that we can learn from, this particular day. So please do share, do share it. This is incredible. Like you said something, champ, like that struck me. Oftentimes, like people will describe you how best they perceive you to be, and this is incredible. You don't force that. Sometimes people don't even know what to call me, whether they call me, some people call me pastor, like all sorts of names. Like I simply, this is what it's difficult to describe myself. Like I don't, okay, what am I gonna say? I'm just me. Like you said, you just be you. Let the grace of God flow through you. Let the Spirit of the living God flow through you, and let it do the ministration. You don't have to force people. You don't need to go to change people. Let your life change people by you simply being and living. The resistance always comes when you try to impose, because as human beings, we don't like being imposed upon. I don't know. I don't care who you are. Like whether you're the lowliest of the low or the highest of the high. We don't like being forced things upon or being told what to do. However, we are always drawn to a light that is shining brightly. When a light is shining brightly, you will humble yourself to that light. When somebody is living a life of purpose, discipline, a life of integrity, still doing all of that, the greatness of that, it brings like this aura around the person. And you're always forced to humble yourself. Like, I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I was listening to, I think it's Dr. Wayne Dyer, he's of late now. And he said something that, it struck me. It's like, if you look at all through history, you look at the people that have influenced life the most, they never ever sought to tell people what to do or how to be. They only lived their life and people were drawn to them. They lived their life and people were drawn to them. And he was speaking about, he gave an example of Jesus, and he said something that I've never heard it before. I don't know whether that is true, but again, like I tend to believe him. He said something, he said, like, it was said of Jesus, like wherever he was, around 100, I don't know whether it's 100 meters or 100 kilometers radius of wherever he was, the spiritual atmosphere there was peace, love, kindness. As a man, like it struck me. And then he said something else about Mother Teresa of Calcutta. And then Mother Teresa was called to, in the US, there's this thing they call the Breakfast Club,
Yeah.
where all the powerful people come, politicians. And she said when Mother Teresa entered, everyone stood up, including the president, Bill Clinton, because she came with a presence that every other present acknowledged as superior. But yet, Mother Teresa did not sleep in the hotel that was booked for her. She chose to go and sleep in a homeless shelter.
Mm.
I'm only saying this so that people can also match the value of character, integrity, and you just deciding to be a vessel of grace to flow through,
Mm.
because that is what will actually bring a lot of meaningful change. And as you said, people are watching. There's a generation behind
Yeah. Yeah.
also looking. How you influence them, is determined by what your life is. You see. So thank you very much for that, champ. Like, that is, you're sharing a lot of good stuff here. I think we're gonna go past beyond the time that we scheduled. But hey, listen, but I wanted to ask you to, in your journey, what has been the lowest moment for you?
Mm.
What has been the lowest moment? Apart from the nights that you slept hungry, what would you say has been the lowest moment for you? Or maybe a moment, not just one.
Yeah, I've had a couple of very very low moments along my journey. One of the real tough ones was happened in 2010 when
Mm,
I lost a very dear big brother and friend, and I would say my manager. It was very I was very close to him, and he passed in a car accident in Cameroon. So that was quite a very low moment for me, and it coincided with a lot of things that happened.
mhm,
He was kind of a mentor. He took me when I was playing my first top cup. He was in the team. When
mhm,
I started playing in Littlefoot, he was in the team manager of the team. When I made my move to Mount Cameroon, he was like the person that made the move for me. When I was in signing my contract at Ajax in Cape Town, he was there to make sure the documents, everything went through. And as a young Christian growing up, he really took me when I just got born again and really encouraged me. He saw the gift of preaching and ministering in me, and he started to expose me, pushed me to preach in crusades, in conferences. He really helped me a lot. And when he passed, that was a big blow. That was a
mm.
big blow, and it coincided also with my dad also passing the same year.
Ay, ay, ay.
So that was like a whole double blow for me, and it took me a lot of years to process that. And those are not things you process in just 10, 15 years. That's a whole void,
Mm,
But that's a void. That has been a big hit for me. Of course, I lost my elder sister in 2012 also. So pretty much in terms of the people around me, that was one of the most challenging moments
mm,
um, for me during my career time. Also, when I had my first serious injury, that was in 2012, coupled with my sister passing. I've had small injuries here and there, but this one I was out for about 5 months. So that was not the normal for me. I've not experienced that before. So
mm,
it was challenging going through that period mentally, not playing, and going through that process. So those I would say were some of the tough moments for me that I've experienced as far
mm.
as my football career is concerned. Losing some of special people to me, and having my longest injury that I was out. So see, I'm just restricting this just to my time in football. So I'm
Yeah.
not going out of that yet. So those would be the moments. Yeah.
Yeah. But that is, like, I understand the value of losing a mentor that you're close to. It's hurtful, man. Now, guys, the reason why I'm asking, to asking him to share this is because we are all humans. You see, no matter how successful you are, no matter how successful you see somebody, there has been moments in their times when they are low. It's not about staying low. It's about rising up from those moments that life is trying to knock you down, you know. So, because oftentimes life will always knock you down. In fact, Life can keep you permanently on your knees if you let it. But you always have to get back up. You always have to remember your purpose, and you always have to stand on the discipline, of that particular purpose to be able
Yeah.
to achieve it.
Yeah.
It's very, very important. Now, Cham, I know you've written an incredible book. The 4P ballers. Sorry, the 4Ps. How to, yes, how to become a successful professional footballer. And you spoke about the 4 Ps, and one of the Ps was purpose, which you've already touched on. Can you like tell the other guys, because this is the thing, like this book is not just about football. I think in everything in life, in every calling that you find yourself, I'm in entrepreneurship, I'm in business. It applies equally for me as for a pastor of a church, as for a footballer, as for a musician, or a nurse, or somebody doing bayam salams on the street.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just wanted to share a little bit on that because it's very important. Like, discipline of purpose is so, like, I just can't get it off my head. I'm serious. It's
Yeah.
there is discipline and there is purpose, but there is a discipline of purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I just let you. I let you take over, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, in a summary, the book is kind of a culmination of my life, the
Mhm.
thing, the lessons I've learned, and how I resume what can help me when I look back at my whole journey and some of the things that I learned, probably mistakes I made. I summarize, like, I felt like success has to be holistic,
Mhm.
right? So success doesn't come to make us good in one thing and very bad and lose other things. So
Yeah.
your success should not be at the expense of your loved ones. Your success should not be at the expense of yourself, right?
Yeah.
So you lose yourself to gain something, but
Mm.
your real identity is you are completely depressed. You're not okay. You're unhappy, but
Yeah.
you have to do this because you want to get this done. So success, that's not real success, you know. So and I felt like success has to be tied with purpose. So that's why I started with purpose, which is really defining the why of doing what you're doing. It would be sad for you to live all your life and then discover that the reason for which you were born, you never touched it. You spend
Mm.
your energy, you spend your years, you spend your resources, you spend your passion, you spend your zeal on what you were never born to do. That would be like Miles Monroe said, the tragedy, the greatest tragedy of a man's life is to live a life without purpose.
Yeah.
Then means there's nothing you're going to leave back that has meaning. Everything you would have done would have gone out of the wind. It will be quickly forgotten. When you're in purpose, it's impossible for people to forget you
That's
because
right.
purpose is unique and your purpose cannot be done by another person. It was unique to you, by you, and for you. So only you can
Yeah.
live that print. So there can never be another Mother Teresa. There can never be another Martin Luther King Jr. There can never be another Nelson Mandela. This guy they worked in purpose. So you can't forget them. That's just what it is.
Mm.
There probably will not be another Eyong Enoh because I've worked in purpose. So you're
Mm.
not gonna forget me real quick. So
Mm.
there will never be another Jesus Christ. And historically, because he worked in purpose, there will not be
Yeah.
another Gerard Chiato because you work in purpose. So purpose makes you become eternal in
Yeah.
as far as his life is concerned, history is concerned, whatever at whatever level. So for that reason, I wrote this book because I felt like people want to be successful, but people don't know the cost of success.
Mm.
People want to be successful, but people purchase this success, and at the end of the day, they discover that what they thought was success was not success. So they feel disappointed. They thought that success was about having money. So they went for the money, and they got the money, and then they discovered they are not happy.
Yeah.
They thought success was about, I want to be a professional footballer, and they got the contract, they got this, but they're not happy. So what
Mm.
happened? It means there's something you're missing as far as your definition of success is concerned.
That's right.
So the 4P is giving you a roadmap, is giving you a balanced perspective of how to achieve holistic success. Start by your why. When you're in your why, your success is going to be on that track. Number 2, I talk about personality, which is about knowing yourself. And I think is something which the average person, myself, playing professional football for how many years, growing up, I knew my talent, I knew my gift, I knew God. But if you ask me as a person, my personality, I would not be able to tell you. It
Mm.
took me years to be able to sit down and start doing a whole personality test. and doing a SWOT analysis of myself. And this is the personal development side. So you can be a
Yeah.
successful person in your talent, in your gift, in your business, but as a human being outside that, you have not grown. You have become
Yeah.
skillful in what you do, but as a human being, you have not grown. You don't understand how to be as a human, how to express your uniqueness, how to work on your weaknesses and your strength, how to become better. Just personal development is an issue. That's why you can hear that someone can hit 50 and still be living like a boy who is 12,
Yeah.
because they added age, but they did not grow as a
Yeah.
person inside. So the book helps to help you pay attention to you as a person, so that you don't lose yourself in trying to chase success. Thirdly, I talk about money. Of course, money is when you're talking about success, money comes in the equation. And I wanted to give another perspective to money for you to understand where money comes in, and also what to do with your money when it comes, because money will come in seasons and money will come
Yes.
in times. And when a season of you having a certain amount of resources pass, because money is like seed. If you eat it,
Yeah.
there's a season that you would have to go on
Yeah.
without it. And then so it's about planting, learning to plant that seed or sowing the seed in the right places so that it can blossom. And I talk about, it's not about how much amount of money you earn. So I'll talk also about the mental aspect of money, getting financial education, which for every career, for every life, you need to be able to know about money. It's a means of exchange. It's something we cannot do without. You can ignore it all you want. You can say it's not important, but we day to day, we're going
Yeah.
to have to use money. So it's about understanding it and getting yourself educated about it. Otherwise, you will be robbing yourself. You will be cheating yourself. And I felt like I had to put it in the book that I used my example for a professional footballer. And I said, for someone who has touched maybe 3 million in their career, and another person who has touched 200,000. When I understand money, when you understand money, you realize that it doesn't matter the amount of money who of them touched. It's about what they did with it.
Yeah.
The person who earned 200,000, if they used it properly, they will build a whole consistency of life than the person who had 3 million. The more you have, the quicker you can lose it.
Yeah.
So I was putting how
Absolutely.
important money education, and I was putting of myself like averagely most people of us chase career, and when money come, we have not thought about what are we going to do with the money. So you need to get money education. And finally, I talked about performance. It's about understanding your unique genius, discovering your skills, what your strengths are, what your weakness are, and how to improve on it, so that you're not a copycat. You have
Yeah.
to know what makes you unique. Know your unique gifts and abilities. But of course, there's another book that I have in mind to write, which is a bit different. I didn't put it here, but it's more about recognizing what I call your master gift. I've shared it to a few people, but people need to know what their master gift is, because master gift is actually what is going to make the one of the biggest difference in your life. You have many talents, you can have gifts, but you need to understand master gift. Master gift is the key that will open some of the biggest doors for you.
Yeah.
I'll give an example for me. Football is a talent for me, but football is not my master gift. So people who don't know me, they may think, if I just say, what do you think my master gift is? They'll think, oh, football, maybe football is my master gift. No, football is not my master gift. So the few people who know me, I can tell them one of the things that is my master gift is counseling. It's counseling. That's my master gift. So it's not always in the forefront, it's somewhere in the background, but it's
Yeah.
what you will meet someone someday and talk to, and it's going to click the door for you.
Yeah.
So for those who read the Bible, I can give them a quick example. You see Joseph's story in the Bible. Joseph's talents and skills was as an administrator. He was taught by his father to look after to the
Yeah.
ships, to the record. And that talent was and skill was what he used when he went to Potiphar's house, or what he used when he went to the prison as an administrator. He could administer things. But when he needed to shift from where he was to where he ought to be, his master gift was dream interpretation.
That's right. That's right. Spot on.
So, but he knew about the master gift from 12 years old.
Yeah.
From 12 years old, because he already started having. So there are people who are not where they are supposed to be because they ignore their master gift. Or nobody talked to them, or they don't even know what a master gift is, and they don't understand how it works. So one of the reasons I wrote the book also is to help people learn how to use their gifts. I didn't put master gift there, but I wanted to give that bonus for many
That's
people who are opportune to be on the entrepreneur. So it's just unique to you guys.
that's incredible.
To hear about master gift. So that's a little bit summary about the book, is to help people have holistic success without losing relationship, losing yourself, and then chasing after money, and then you're completely depressed and unhappy at the end of your life.
Somebody just asked, are there hard copies available in Cameroon, and where can they get it?
Well, there are not hard copies available in Cameroon. Cameroon is still a market that will have to come there. But hopefully, if you stick to the entrepreneur can help work on something so that these books can be available in Cameroon.
Absolutely, absolutely. I like the last part, master gift. Like as you were saying it, like I could hear something in me saying, "Oh yes, you haven't thought about it. You thought about it. You thought about it." I'm just being honest with you. You know, but master gift, like you said, is actually, and as you said something, as you're narrating the story of Joseph, something hit me, and something said to me is like, oftentimes, even you yourself, most people will not realize, you know, um, most people will know your skills and they will know your gifts. You know, they will know you're good at this, you can do this, you can do that, you know. But oftentimes, most people will ignore your master gift.
Yeah.
But for you to actually become great, your master gift must show up.
Yeah.
For you to become great. You can be successful with your gifts.
Yeah.
But greatness is determined by how well connected you are to your master gift.
Yes. Yes.
You know, and as you were speaking, I was like, man, this guy is making sense. You know, so this is incredible.
Yeah.
You know, this is incredible. So, guys, I hope you learned that. But if you didn't take anything today, there are a few things I want you to take. One, purpose. Two, the discipline of purpose. Very important. And then you also made mention, which you wrote, you know, something you wrote in the book. Oftentimes people want to make money. When the money comes, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
It's not about how much you make. It's about how much you can keep, how much you can grow and sustain. I've been saying this thing for a very long time. Like I've been singing it. It's not about how much you can make. For example, like I really got upset in the year 2016. You know, I called my wife and we sat down and we're looking at the money that has been coming to us. We saw how much we have been spending and we looked around. We didn't have assets, you know, even. And I said to my wife, like, man, if we have actually retained only 20% or 30% of all of this money, we will be financially wealthy. My perspective changed. Now I do like a self-evaluation of my money, like every single month end. Like I do a self-evaluation. What have I got coming? What output have I produced financially? What have I sold for tomorrow? And it also kicked, you know, like I was listening to Apostle Joshua Selman, and he said, every money that comes to your hand, there is bread for today and there is seed for tomorrow. If you eat both the bread and the seed, you will starve tomorrow. The people who have plenty today are the people who realize or recognize the portion that is called bread and the portion that is called seed. Seed is there to take care of tomorrow. Bread is there to take care of today. And it all culminates in what you're saying about the 4P. You have to live a balanced life. Don't be too miserly, you know, don't be too, you know, greedy, don't be too stingy. No, but have a plan. In your plan, have bread for today and have seed for tomorrow. Because those two will determine, you know, whether you become a beggar tomorrow or whether you'll be living in abundance tomorrow. And I just want to, this is incredible. And also, guys, the final thing, the master gift. Man, like if you need to find something this month end, like, as you know, like when you say a word, it rings in my head, it sticks. This particular one, master gift, this is my personal assignment. This month, I'm going to find the master gifts that I have. I know a couple of, well, I know one in particular, you know, but I need to find out the others and how to fine tune it. And I also encourage you guys to do the same. Find out what is your master gift. Your master gift is what will make you great. Your skill set and every other thing, it will make you successful. The greatness is tied to your master gift. Man, this is great value on the entrepreneur. Guys, are you guys enjoying this? I hope you are enjoying this. Bread for today and seed for tomorrow. Every money that comes into your hands, every amount, and if you take it seriously, every amount of money that comes into your hand, before you spend it, look at it. Okay, I've got 100,000 francs today. There is bread for today and there is seed for tomorrow. Which one is going to be bread? Is it going to be 99,000 francs as bread? Or is it going to be 30,000 francs as bread? And then 70,000 francs as seed for tomorrow. Guys, there is great value here today. Cham, I just want to say thank you. But I'm not going to let you go. I just have maybe two more questions. I know we are exceeding the time a little bit, but I want you to share with our audience today. What have been the 5 principles that have guided you in life to success? What would you say? Like even 3 to 5. But I know there must be some principles. You see any man successful, it's a man who lives on principles. Like it's simple as that.
Yeah.
A man who is not living by principles, they're not gonna go too far. They can have, some you taste success because God is good to all. So you taste the success and you go down. But a man who is continually relevant is a man who is, living on principles. What are some of the principles that have guided you?
Well, I think when I was young, especially when I just become saved, and I just had passion, zeal, drive for God. I was focused, like I was talking about, discipline of purpose. But I never really thought about really define them. Some of them, I put them to work of them. So it's a good question you're asking me now at this age and at this time, because when I look back and I see some of them that have really, I can put them now in words, even though they had been walking without me paying attention to it. It was just the grace of God, the goodness of God. To be able to articulate them now, I think I can. Previously, if you had asked me some years ago, I would have just said what I think. But from a practical, experiential point of view, I can tell you, I have clear. I can put it in 5. I can put it in 6, but I can put it in 5 also for today. And all of this is summarized. I'm going to use one word for a start to be able to break down the first 3 principles for which I believe.
Oh no. I think we're having a bit of a network issue there. Guys, are you still with us? I think we've just let me know if you can hear me. I don't know whether it's coming from my side or from the Cham side. But definitely this is
that I have been living by.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yes. I think we lost you for a bit. I can hear you now.
Okay. I don't know if where I stopped was out the 5. I can put in the 5.
Yes, you said you said there is a key phrase and then you're gonna break it down into 3.
Yes. So there is one word and I'm going to use it to break the first 3 and I'm going to give the last 4. Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to write it down so that I don't forget how it is. Again, like I said, this is in the tops of my head, and so this is my first. My first 3 is based on the word called honor. Honor. So the first principle for me is honor God. As a young man, my life is to honor God, and this is exactly what is in the book of Ecclesiastes when he says, "This is the whole duty of man." See, this is the summary of it all, to honor God with your youth. So this is my first principle is to live for God, is to honor God, is to please him, because I will not be here without him. I will not be alive. I'm not what I am. I am Paul. I'm what I am by the grace of God. So my life, my life should be to the honor of God. I should be able to honor God with my life. So I pursue. Because of that, I study the scripture. Because of that, I read. Because of that, I evangelize. I do all the things to honor God that the Bible instructs me to do. You have to love. You have to, give. These are the ways to honor God. Second principle is to honor yourself.
Mm.
To honor yourself means personal development.
That's right.
Yes, I'm honoring God. Now I need to honor what God has given to me. To honor what God has given to me means I need to study. I need to learn. The Bible says, study to show yourself approved unto God. This is the honoring of yourself. You need to know your self-value. You need to know your boundaries. You need to know your weakness. Personal development is a form of honoring yourself. It's a form of recognizing the values, the potential, the capacity that you carry. If you are not putting work, you're not exercising your talents, you're not working hard, you are not honoring yourself.
Mm.
You're dishonoring yourself by not reading, by not working hard, by not pushing, by not expressing your gift, by not, if you know you are good at playing football, practice. If you're good at selling, practice. If you're good at business, practice. This is honoring yourself.
Yeah.
When you put these two in place, then I can add the third principle, which is honor others. Others means you are honoring God, you're honoring yourself, then you can now serve others.
Mm.
To honor others is to serve them. Serve them how? When I develop myself, you realize that all that you have developed is become an easy flow to serve others.
Yeah.
Serve others with your business ideas. Serve others with your creativity. Serve others with your career, with your platform, with your fame, with the entrepreneur, this thing. If you are not taking time to honor yourself, to develop yourself, to become who you are today, how can you create this platform to begin to serve people and add value to them?
Mm.
So my third principle today, I can talk to some young people, they can listen to me because I've worked on honoring God and honoring myself and getting myself to where I am. Then I can now serve them through mentorship. I can serve them through counseling, through discipleship. That's serving. If every leader in our country were to apply this principle,
Ooh. That's a
if every
utopia.
businessman was to apply this principle, if every young man was to apply this principle, as a
Mm.
young woman, honor yourself by not giving yourself cheap. As a young man,
Yeah.
honor yourself by not, don't abuse yourself with the things that are not going to cause you to grow, that are going to add value to you. So if every school were to teach people about honoring God, honoring themselves, and honor others, we are talking about national leadership. We're talking about national
Yeah.
development. We're talking about nation building principles.
Mm.
The fourth principle for me is forgive others. Let go of things. You see. Now I can say I'm honoring God, I'm honoring myself, I'm honoring others. And in that process, one of the things that must happen is that people will offend you.
Yeah.
People would betray you. People will backbite you. People will talk bad about you. People will hate on you. This is the natural instinct of all of us humans and many other people. So one of the principles you want, and I decide to guide my life, is to be able to quickly let go. And so that I will not let anything hold me back from honoring God, from honoring myself, so that I can continue to serve others.
Mm.
So this is a principle. And there's nothing that anybody can do. I made up my mind that it will be too difficult if God can forgive all our sins and still accept us, and he said we should be perfect as he is, then I choose to let go. If we preach this to our nation, to Cameroon, to our brothers who feel cheated and people are angry and are fighting one another, killing one another, and we let go and we come to look for a resolution and to look for peace, we will be heading somewhere. This is one of the principles that I got in my life, or that have been guiding my life. The fifth one is enjoy the process of life.
Mm. I like that.
Enjoy the process of life, because life is in seasons and no
Yeah.
one can escape it.
Yeah.
When you have a lot of money today, be happy, be thankful. When you don't have enough as you think, be happy, be thankful. In every season, enjoy the process. Today, I talked to you about my story in Burkina Faso. It was tough, there with this, I didn't eat it, but I was a happy young man. I was excited to go through that process. And I can tell you that experience was one of the best of my life, because this is where I was shaped. These were some of the places I learned the lessons, and it helped me to develop into the person that people are looking at today. I had to go through that. So I enjoy the process of life, because life is in seasons. This is the final principle. Enjoy the process of life. We are all on a ride. I said one time to my wife, I said, we are all preparing to die. She was like, okay. I said, because definitely everyone is going to die, right?
Yeah.
The difference is that some people prepare to check out why some don't. So in my preparation, I'm going to be honoring God. I'm going to be honoring myself. I'm going to be honoring people, and I'm going to be letting go of things, because I want to enjoy the process, so that I can get the best out of it.
Man, I really, really like that. Like, it's incredible. Like 2016 or 2015 coming to 2016, my life motto became integrity before profit. For exactly these principles that you're talking about. And it's incredible because oftentimes, like I keep saying, I'm the one man who never gets angry. Like, it doesn't matter what you do to me, I don't get upset. And oftentimes that upsets some people. Like, I don't get upset. Like, I used to, even in university, I used to have that problem. You do whatever you do, I will not get upset. And people, like, they can't understand it. Here's why, like, forgiving others is very important. Like, I'm saying forgiving others because when you choose never to hold a grudge or to always let go, you are freeing yourself and allowing yourself to become a container of light, because we are
Yeah.
containers of light.
Yeah.
We are containers of light, not containers of darkness. I made this video, some time ago on my TikTok. We are containers of light, not of darkness. If you're holding hate, you're holding, spite in you. It's like you're trying to ask light and darkness to become friends within you. It's impossible. One has got to swallow the other, and it
Yeah.
always has got to be light. But oftentimes we hold on to the darkness so strong that it causes our bodies to swell. Rashes keep coming up. This cancer keep popping up, or these kind of things. You see people young, but their face is twisted as if they're 87. You're wondering what is actually going on, because inside is unforgiveness. And when I learned that lesson, I thank God, because I learned it quite early. When you learn the value of never being upset or getting angry, regardless of what you hear people say, regardless of what people do, I tell you this one, like some of my friends, even my mom could not understand it. Like 2014, I was just just beginning to explore businesses in Cameroon. One of my schoolmates, we went to uni together. We were buying cocoa and selling. We'll buy cocoa and we'll sell. And I gave this guy, I'm not gonna say, but I gave him like 20 million francs cash for the cocoa deal. And I gave him the money in Cameroon, then I came to the UK. For the first 3 months, I didn't hear anything about this guy. I only heard like maybe 5 months later that he was in jail. And I'm wondering, like, how did he find himself in jail? And so I went to Cameroon, and the guy could not even hold himself to come and see me. Like, he was panicking, he was shaking, he didn't know what to do, what to say, and whatnot. But eventually I just called him. I was like, bro, hey, listen, man, it's money. Come, let's talk. I just want to know what happened. And like the day he came, he was panicking. I was like, you're still my mate. Just tell me what happened. And apparently the funds went to settling his other debts, which I never knew. I thought we were in business. I didn't know that he was doing his own funny, whatever he was doing, but whatever the case. But then he was so intimidated, and he thought he owed me. and he was literally in a mental prison
Mm.
for like almost 14 months.
Mm.
You know, and because I did not ask him to pay me back the money. Imagine like somebody that kind of money, like people will be like, I'll put you in prison and blah blah blah. I did not ask him to pay them money, but some of my friends were like poking him and so on. I told him, guys, leave that guy in peace. So I left here. Like after I finished, I left, came back, and then I went back. I left and I went to the village to go and look for him.
Mm.
And I told him, listen, bro, whatever happened, happened. You know, I thank God it happened for 20 million, not 200 million. Maybe I was waiting, not 2 billion. I was like, listen, consider that a seed from me to you, for your life. Don't think about paying it back. You don't have to do me any favors. Never ever feel guilty. It was money. This
Mm.
is money. It is money. God is the one who gives us power to get wealth. I know He has given me that power, and I will get so much more. So do not feel guilty. This guy cried like a baby. Now, why am I saying it? Because there are some things that happen to people and they hold on to it and hold that power over others. No,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have to let go. Give people the power to be the light,
Yeah.
regardless of the situation.
Yeah.
This guy currently is about to graduate from a pastoral school because of that incident.
Mm.
So maybe, along the line, there was already a purpose that maybe something like this was going to happen to give him the inspiration to and the conviction for him to get to where he has to be. Imagine
Mm.
the souls that his story can win. Imagine the lives and the transformation that others can also learn from him.
Yeah.
Because we have to forgive. Like, never ever let, because when you're not forgiving, you're giving your power away. And one thing
Yeah.
I hate is to give my power away to somebody
Yeah.
else or to
Yeah.
let something disturb my mind. So,
Mm.
Cham, I just want to say that is incredible. Guys, I hope you heard it. First, honor God. Two, you have to honor yourself. Most people don't know how to honor themselves. You go, you drink, you get drunk, you're smoking. You're not honoring yourself by doing that. Yes, I will say, I will say it. That's not how you honor yourself. You honor yourself by self-development, like the champ said. That is how you honor yourself. Study yourself, study to show yourself approved. Not study funny things, study things that can add value, that can
Yeah.
serve,
Yeah.
and then you honor others. Honoring
Mm.
others is by serving them your gift, serving them your talent, serving them, all that God has blessed you with.
Yeah.
And then forgive.
Mm.
Forgive.
Mm.
Forgive, man. Like, I cannot even stress this enough. Forgive. If you just choose today to forgive anyone and everyone and never to get upset or angry, regardless of what anybody does
Mm.
to you, you will see how powerful you are.
Yeah.
Let's forget about others. You will see how powerful you become and how invincible, quote unquote, you become. When you don't forgive, you give room for many things to happen to you with your permission. That is what unforgiveness does. You allow things to happen to you with your permission. But when you choose to forgive, trust me, nothing can happen to you. I can tell you this, man. Like, we've come from backgrounds where we keep preaching witches and wizards all the time. I was like, the day a witch will see me, they will just fall down and die if they have evil intention. Because that is how, like, the life is just so much. We come from families where we keep blaming aunties and uncles and this and that. Listen, man, all those things, they may exist, but if you say they are not for you, they have no power over you, and you're clean in and out, trust me, they hold no power over you, and they can never affect your destiny. They can never delay your destiny. Remember, only God is omniscient and omnipresent. The devil, one, he can only be in one place at a time. So for the devil to actually be on your case, like you always think all the time, my brother, my sister, you must really need some serious, whatever. But hey, listen, man, I'm just saying this just to add perspective to what the champ is saying. Now, champ, I know you've been here some time, but before you go, is there anything that the people can expect from you? I know, you've done with professional football now. You're doing a lot of consulting work, but you've also got some incredible things that you're working on. What can the people expect from you?
Well, for now, like you said, there are a couple of things that I'm working on. First is the 4P Baller. My 4P Baller is a consultancy agency for sports and also for professionals. It's designed for mentorship and education, helping young footballers, active footballers, probably even those who are making transition from active football to after life after football, which I've
Yeah,
also done. That's one, and so for that, I wrote the book to help the players, those players. Two, I have a online course that I've designed, which is going to be running soon, to a
okay.
mentorship program that many can subscribe to. And thirdly, I am working also, since I'm already in the football space and I'm talking about money, I'm talking about converting your experience into something that can be tangible. At the moment, I also got involved with Alphaverse. Alphaverse is a tech, we call it Alpha Tech. It's a tech company that is going to be pioneering one of the first NFT platforms, which is going to be focused on sports, football in particular in Africa. And since I'm from Cameroon, definitely we're going to kick off from Cameroon, and I'm working and talking with some of the Cameroon football bodies, be it Sinafok, be it Calif, and also bringing in the president of the federation to see, in all of Africa, there's no African country as huge, as big historically as Cameroon, but
Yeah,
yet that has not been converted into its proper value, and has not been
yeah,
properly positioned so that people can see Cameroon for what Cameroon really is. And we're talking about data, we're talking about statistics, we're talking about what people tend to talk about what is current, what is trending, and if we don't make that a trend, it will never ever become valuable.
true.
So through the NFTs and through other projects which we will combine with the NFTs, we're going to make Cameroon, who deserves it in Africa and deserves it globally, trend in the way that they are supposed to trend, so that they can really. So this project is going to also have social impact, because many players, some of them who have passed, who's their family, we don't know how their family are doing, but through this project, we can mint these NFTs, sell them, and some of that money is going to come back to support their families. So it's the whole project is about a give back to Cameroon football what it deserves, and give back to the former generation. We have a pioneer project called Indomitable Legends, which we will disclose over time. So if you don't know about Alphaverse, you can just go to www.alphaverse.io. You would see a little bit what Alphaverse, Alphaverse is all about. You will see the team with which I'm working with. You will see the vision. You will see the concept. And for some of you who are interested uh, in Web3, who are interested in blockchain, who are interested in the future of things, which already is now, you can go there, check it. It could be an interesting stuff for you to tag along our whitelist and register to it, futuristically, if you're interested. See, this is one of the pioneer projects. If you're also an artist, if you're following this our interaction, you are an artist into creative arts and into this, you may go. I think we're going to share the website, an email for Alphaverse email, which you can write us, send us an email if you're a very creative person. We're talking with a few creative people that we want to get on board, because Alphaverse is typically African driven. It's Afrocentric. It's about Africa building something that they can own. Through this, we're going to be our own NFT platform, and we will also, in turn, in the future, build our own metaverse. But we need to lead. We need to lead it. So that's one of the projects I'm involved with. I'm very passionate about it, because I think Cameroon football, African football, deserves this level of attention, and deserves to be in this market space, which is NFTs, which is and other aspects in terms of the metaverse, which is going to be coming forth. Some of you use Facebook, and probably you're watching us on Facebook. Facebook is already in the metaverse, and other different things, but these are people from outside. So what are we doing in terms of Africa and Cameroon? We want to get into that space, and as a footballer, I felt like it's about time we marry the professionalism of football and technology. And this is what is
Mm.
giving us this project called Indomitable Legends, which is one of the first, and we're doing it under Alphaverse. So that will
Great.
be two things I'm talking for now. I'm in 4P Baller, which is my consultancy agency for sports, and I'm also into sports tech. which is Alphaverse, which we want to be able to help and give value to our Cameroon football and African football in general.
Wow, that's incredible, 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 incredible. Alphaverse, guys, I hope you heard it. www.alphaverse.io. I'll put the link, so you can see, but it depends on which platform you're watching us from. And if you're an artist, like the champ said, do send an email, so that maybe your art is probably gonna be featured on the platform. So thank you very much, champ. I really, really, appreciate this. Guys, if you've got a question, maybe we take 1 or 2 questions. I know it's been a very long one, but if you've got a question, just let me know. Just write it in the comment and let me know. So we're gonna take maybe 1 or 2 questions. But guys, this has been an incredible, valuable session. Imagine you had to go and pay for this. What price tag would you put on it, guys? You tell me. This is incredible information. This is incredible value that we've got here. So thank you guys for tuning in. And we just want to say thank you very much, champ. We really, really, we do appreciate you for taking our time to be on the platform with us. We don't take it lightly. You've given us incredible, incredible value, for the time that has been spent. And it has been time that has been well spent indeed. So thank you very much. I haven't seen any questions, so I'll let you go.
Okay.
And we definitely are going to have you back. I like the project you spoke about, so definitely we're going to have to, bring you back to talk more about the project as time goes on.
Okay.
So thank you very much, champ.
Thank you for having me on the Entrepreneur. And guys, if you are following the Entrepreneur, please, I want to encourage you guys. Sometimes when you're getting a lot of value from something, don't undermine it. These are opportunities that come, and I think that we as Cameroonians, we need to be better responsive to the values we get. So share this, talk about it, or write something short from what you got in the Entrepreneur, how it has affected you, how it has transformed your life. Evangelize something that is good. The social media is full of terrible, all kind of things. People share things that don't add value to them. So when we have something like this that add value, please publish it, because it's important. All right. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you very much, champ. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. All right, guys, there you have it. It's been an incredible, incredible day. And personally, I've had a lot of value. I hope you remember, some of the things that the champ shared with us, and especially about success in life in general, and his 5 principles: honor God, honor yourself, honor people, and then forgive others, and then, forgive others as well. So it's been amazing. And then he also spoke about the master gift. Find your purpose, develop the discipline of purpose, and then money. It's not about how much you get, it's about how much you can keep, and how much you can grow. You see. So learn about those things. On the Entrepreneur, I bring you all of these incredible people to share their life's journey with you so that you can benefit from their experiences. And listen, if you don't know how to keep your money, if you don't know where to invest, if you're looking for trustable or trusted platforms, definitely write to me. I've been in this industry long enough to know phony deals or phony platforms, and I can give you, my opinion about which I believe, again, a personal opinion, stand a chance in this particular climate. But the champ made mention about Alphaverse, incredible platform, incredible vision there. So I will encourage you guys, get on the website. If you haven't expressed an interest, you can join the whitelist. And I believe the project is gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So I want to say thank you guys again very much. It's been an honor to share this Sunday evening with you. And I just say stay blessed. I'll speak with you guys again very, very soon.